Captain's Log, Stardate 23.4.3. We have encountered planets number 47, inhabited by the race known as the Metaphiles. They've built their civilization around asking questions such as the we, the what, and the why. So far, it seems that we've encountered a crisis known as Star Trek, and we must save this indigenous race from the illogical, unknowable ignorance of the topic. Kirk out.
Transition coming in, Mr. Ford.
On screen.
What bizarre life form could this be?
What do you make of it, Spock?
Looks like,
Damn it, Spock, I need answers.
You're
You're the science officer on board of this vessel.
Yes, but my obsession with logic does not lead to good ad-libbing, Jim.
It's because, the ad-libbing drives you to say things that you don't want to confess about your personal life.
Yes, and...
Off screen. Warp 9, let's get out of here. Amazing.
So, we've already done it.
Yeah, we got all that out of the way. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Beaming down to the planet's surface now. The podcast surface. Star Trek.
Captain, the surface seems to be rife with yucks. There's an abundance of yucks on this planet.
That's a tricorder sound.
The bidometer is spiking like crazy.
There's bits everywhere, Captain.
And I'm a hura, and I also think there's bits everywhere. And this is what I sound like for this. I'm a hura.
God damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a podcaster.
And of course,
Bones.
good old Bone.
Yeah, Bone, because it's just...
Yeah. Yep. It's Bone McCoy's.
Bone McCoy's. God damn it, Metaphiles, I'm a plastic bone, not a prop.
Gonna need you to be both.
God damn it, I'm one thing, not two things at the same time. Like, he responds to everything anybody says to him. Like,
Yeah.
we get it, man.
Yeah. So, like, hey, Bone McCoy's. Hey.
God damn it, I'm a doctor, not hey.
Oh, I was just gonna see if you wanted to get in on lunch. We're ordering from the planet.
God damn it, I'm a doctor, not a concierge.
Oh, concierge.
Yeah, you know, people at a... God damn it, I'm a doctor, not an encyclopedia.
Oh, okay. So you don't want lunch.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a horse that eats like a horse.
Ooh.
God damn it, I'm a doctor, not a person that says the right things all the time.
And there you go. We've done it again.
He gets born. They're like, congratulations, it's a boy. And he's like, God damn it, I'm a doctor, not...
Not a boy.
Yeah.
Being a doctor is fluid.
Is what? Fluid?
Is fluid.
What do you mean?
Well, he's a doctor, not a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Being a doctor is fluid.
Gotcha.
The doctor could be a Vulcan. Why can this doctor not operate on the child? Because it's my son. I'm a Vulcan.
I don't get it
I'm a
at
doctor
all.
that's a Vulcan.
I think I lost.
Yeah.
It's part of the plot.
It's okay. We'll go to a commercial break, and they'll kind of recap everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I hope so.
Yeah. And that was the part of the podcast where, we got hit. The ship got hit. And so, but now stabilized.
Cool.
And we are going to start talking about Star Trek. Should we immediately address what we were just talking about off mic, or do we just not even want to bother?
I can't remember what it was.
Okay, just that I realized recently that the film
yeah.
Dude, Where's My Car crawled so that the Hangover trilogy could run. And I just think it's
so true.
Yeah.
It's practically the same movie.
Yeah. And just a little, and even including they got a crazy tattoo. And then one guy got a crazy tattoo.
Uh-huh.
So just a little respect to Mr. Kutcher and William Scott, please. Moving forward.
Yeah. It's like, dude, where's my groomsman? Or what's it called when the fucker gets married?
The
bride and groom, yeah. Where's my groom to be? Instead of where's my car?
The best maid? What is it?
The guy...
What is Luke Wilson going to be in the new romantic comedy?
Luke Wilson?
Yeah. This is from Axe Throwing episode now.
Fuck.
What
was Luke Wilson in?
Well, we were coming up with a movie he was going to be in called where his sister's getting married, and so he's the maid of honor, but he's also the best man.
Yeah, right.
It's not man of honor.
Yeah, groomsman of honor.
The bride's groom? No.
Bride's groom. I think it was the bride's groom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, but...
Well, that's what was funny about it. It's like, Luke Wilson is the bride's groom.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a wife. She's like, yeah, the best man. I need a best woman. It's like, bridesmaid? No, more like a bride's groom. And then Luke Wilson pops into frame.
Yeah.
And then everybody decides they're not going to watch it.
Yeah. Well, so that's our attempt to recount a bit that we don't remember from 2 weeks ago. But...
Big laugh. 2 weeks ago.
Dude, where's my...
bride's groom.
Best man.
Yeah. Dude, where's my groom? Yeah.
Dude, where's my groom? That's what it is. Dude, where's my groom?
Yeah. And then, yeah.
Or...
Let's go to Vegas and smoke a lot of weed. Like, what?
Or what I'm saying is, dude, where's my credit? Is what I'd be asking if I was...
Credit at the casino?
For making Dude, Where's My Car? Or Dude, Where's My Credit? For you're the reason that we all got to see Ken Jeong hop out of a car naked.
Yeah. It's a useful movie title to plug into just about anything.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to leave for work, you have to find your keys. Dude, where's my keys? And everybody laughs.
Everybody laughs. Yep. Yeah. And then they say, what's mine say? Sweet.
Yeah.
And you know you're on the same page with this person. And you know you are going to be good friends with this person.
Yeah. Real good friends.
Yeah. But hey, now I think we've covered that. So now it's Dude, where's my Roddenberry? Let's talk Star Trek.
Yeah. You could say, you could talk about Star Trek 4, The Search for Spock, in which Spock could say, dude, where's my memories?
Where's my me?
Yeah, where's my me? Because I was regenerated via the Genesis project. Even though I died, they brought me back. Because... Is there something wrong with the equipment, or is there anything? Is there something wrong? This is like a super important part of the Star Trek podcast. Dude, where's my...
Just checking
Spock.
checking the warp drive.
Oh, okay. Is that lithium crystals?
Yeah, those. So then, what happened to Spock? They found him.
So glad you asked. So they found him.
Was he in space?
I'm recounting the events of Star Trek 4, The Search for Spock.
Okay.
And then they found him, and but he wasn't him, because it just regenerated his body and not like his memory and shit like that.
Oh.
But luckily, here's the best part. And let's just get a picture of when this happened. He mind melded with Bones McCoy, the doctor.
Okay. We'll put a
There's just we'll put the whole movie just on the fact tube.
Sure, it's been playing the whole time. Something might be wrong with the brightness on it this week, but the whole thing.
It might be able to. Might just fuck around with these up here a little bit.
Man, I wouldn't screw with those things too much. We don't know if we're going to see facts anymore if you mess with too many dials.
Okay. Well, we can get back to playing the whole movies on. We really should play all the movies.
It should be playing right now.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's not, just you go ahead and do a little picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
Size the window to like so.
Mm-hmm. Really, if anything, you could just get a hold of all Star Trek movies that have been released and watch all of them, then come back before you watch the rest of this episode.
Yeah, because from here on out, we are going to be really very specific with the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude, where's my Star Trek trivia facts that you're going to want to know?
Yeah.
You're going to,
Yeah. And let's go ahead and assume that everybody has done that now.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you the first Star Trek trivia question, and then we will show the correct answer on the fact tube as a back tattoo that Mr. Kutcher or William Scott might have had on their back in the classic "What Does My Tattoo" scene say?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, what is Captain Kirk's first name?
James.
T.
No, that's his
Kirk.
middle name. James is his first name.
He was the first captain.
Yeah.
James T. Kirk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then his name. What was his name? He was the first captain.
His name was James Kirk.
T.
Yeah.
You know what the T stands for?
Tiberius.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
When does the trivia start? This is like shit that everybody knows about Star Trek.
Okay, what
Different from trivia.
The fuck is a Romulax? What is that?
There's no such thing as a Romulax.
Well, you didn't know the answer.
Wow, beam me out from this podcast.
Beam me out, Sean William Scotty.
I would attempt a Sean William Scott impression, but
you're really
nobody fucking knows who that is anymore, anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say we probably should watch it again first to really determine which of us is the Sean William Scotty and which of us is the Ashton. It's pretty tough.
It was tough to do that with Beavis and Butthead. What else did we do that with?
Well, I mean, leading up to this, I was thinking, like, do I ask which of us is the Kirk and which is the Spock? But I think we're both.
We're both.
We both got a little bit of Jim Tiberius in us. We both have a little bit of Tom Spock.
It's just Spock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when did you act like Spock the last time? When's the last time you acted like Spock?
I mean, at the beginning of the show.
Yeah? What are you talking about?
Remember I was doing his voice and stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Dude, where's my first 5 minutes of the show?
Dude, where's my logic? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
can we like using deep fake technology, can we get a remake of Dude, Where's My Car, but where it's Nimoy and Shatner as Kirk and Spock, as Ashton and Sean William Scotty, as what their characters were named.
Yeah, right. No, I follow. That'd be cool.
Someone get in that. Hey Jay, do you like Star Trek?
I like Star Trek a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite one?
It's always been a thing for me. You do?
Or I think I do.
My favorite one, what? My favorite episode, my favorite series, my favorite movie, my favorite character, my favorite alien race, my favorite starship.
Yes.
Favorite season.
Yep.
Favorite planet, favorite star, favorite track.
Your favorite is the Next Generation.
No.
Oh, original.
Yep.
Oh.
It's pretty logical of you. Yeah, no, my favorite was the original series.
Yeah. Have you seen all of them? At least one episode of every one. Not including anything like...
You mean have you seen all the series?
Yeah, hold on. Seems to be some kind of disturbance.
Check your tricorder.
My God, he's dog, Jim.
We're getting roommate signals.
Little garbage pail wants to be beamed down here, but he can't be.
No. Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. I mean. So for me. You made a cogent observation of cutting off at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know, Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise, which was like early 2000s, was the one where I started watching. I was like, this isn't Star Trek-y enough. This isn't real Star Trek, and I'm done. And everything after that is just like, except for the movies, for whatever reason.
The JJ movies.
There is also a couple other Next Generation movies after Star Trek Enterprise started, I think.
Okay. There's the one where it's Picard's head on the poster, and behind him, it's very green, and the green seems dangerous.
Nemesis, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty good one. That Tom Hardy as a young Picard.
Oh.
Cloned, evil version. Nature versus nurture kind of theme going throughout the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you said before that Enterprise, you said this is not Star Trek-y enough.
Yeah.
What's that mean to you?
I think honestly it has to kind of do with my upbringing and like Star Trek being like a nostalgic thing for me.
And your parents taught you not to be enterprising.
Yeah. Yeah, it just didn't feel like Star Trek to me. Just like the real short answer and like the honest answer. It just didn't feel Star Trek-y.
Not enough weighing of moral relativism.
Yeah, I kind of think that Star Trek did everything it could have done once it reached that point.
Yeah. Because
this is my opinion.
How many planets? I mean, they've probably been to all the planets in that show by this point.
Pretty much all.
So much of it. They've probably been to every one.
All 20 of them, yep.
And you don't want to go back.
Yeah, it's not, let's go back to, bravely go back to where every man has been already.
Yeah, and explore not very strange, familiar worlds.
Normal old worlds.
Yeah.
To lazily go where every man has already been and revisit normal, boring worlds. Yeah, this is that's it. That'd be an interesting new take on a Star Trek series.
Yeah, like Captain, we seem to be approaching New Brunswick
again.
Yeah, we're in New Brunswick again. You want to go grab a burger at Wendy's again?
I guess.
Okay, beaming down. Yeah, could I get the Dave's Double?
Again? It's the Klingons. Ugh, okay.
What's the best kind of alien in Star Trek?
We need more dilithium crystals for the rest of this episode to play out. Again? Wait, say it again?
What's the best kind of alien?
I don't know. My favorite kind of alien?
Yeah.
Mm,
Grays.
fucking people, man. Humans are the aliens in Star Trek.
I mean, like, man, some people act as crazy as some of those friggin' crazy aliens do.
Yeah. I don't know. The Ferengi are really funny.
Okay, let me see if I got this right.
They got a cool little thing going on.
It's probably obvious to the viewers at this point. You know much more about Star Trek than I do.
It should be, and I'm willing to reassert the fact if it's not.
Yeah. I did know his middle initial was T.
Big deal.
I mean, that's like...
Yeah, what's his first initial?
J.
Damn it.
Well, C if you count Captain.
Damn it.
C.T.J. Kirk.
Damn it.
Is what I call him. The Ferengi...
Yeah.
They have big ears.
Yeah.
And they really like money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their whole thing, is just to get as much money as they can, and they have a whole culture built around getting money, and
Sound familiar?
everything's orange.
What?
They're all orange. They're orange. Their ships are orange.
Boats.
They're space boats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Klingons.
They're interesting.
Overrated?
Overrated. Overrated.
Yeah. It seems to me like
Kinda
they
boring.
fall into what kind of every space opera show has, where it's like they're a warrior race,
Yeah.
but that translates to them being very like stoic and proudly stoic, and we speak slowly about how aggression is the way that I express my emotions.
Extremely one-dimensional.
But every once in a while,
Yeah.
you will see a glimmer of that I could love. It's that, right?
And
And then they go,
sort
"Ah,
of.
ah, 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 ah."
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They're kind of overrated. But hey, I mean, enough about me. Like,
You're Teal'c from Stargate. You're what's his face from Farscape with the big nose, who was he did have emotions more than you would think.
oh, he did? No.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh,
It's killing me that I can't think of his name, but it's okay. We're talking about Star Trek. We'll do Farscape episode in a few years, probably.
Yeah.
My own take on Star Trek, Jay.
What do you got? Yeah.
Um,
Star Trek and you.
Didn't have TV growing up, really. Just had CBS. No Star Trek on CBS.
Right.
Would occasionally catch part of an episode of The Next Generation on TV here and there, and found it. I am not a fan of Shakespearean acting or Shakespearean actors, so I do not really like Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen or Anthony Hopkins or any of those types of dudes. So I just felt like Next Generation was too much like watching people play act, and I couldn't get into it.
Just simply not naturalistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then-
you haven't seen Elephant Man. Anthony Hopkins is very great in that. I think you'd turn a corner.
I'll believe it when I see it. He's good as
I don't
Hannibal. He's
I don't
good
think
as
he belongs
Hannibal.
in that list.
Mads Mikkelsen's better as Hannibal. Just gonna say it.
Ooh. Whoa.
But
Set phasers to stun. I don't know.
set phasers to stunningly accurate take.
Ooh. Whoa.
Then in college, saw that the original series was on Netflix, and I was like, I'll check out how it got started. Watched about 7 episodes of that, and was like, this is good shit. They're out there in space having groovy space adventures. Spock and Kirk are cool as fuck. I like Bones. I like Uhura.
Word.
I like Scotty. He's fun.
I mean, honestly, I would say William Shatner is like a bit more wooden than Picard and all those people.
Yes, but in a way that feels of the era and kind of like contributes to the whole aesthetic in a way that a guy being like that in the 90s does not.
Okay.
But so that being said, that was pretty much all the Star Trek that I've watched, other than I did watch the J.J. Abrams movies. I'm sorry, I did watch them. Thought they were fine. Thought they were kind of fun, but I get that they're not really like what Star Trek's supposed to be like. So then today, I like original series. I like it. I just forgot to keep watching it for a long time. But I want to see all of that one. I do.
Yeah.
And today, as part of my research, I watched one. Unfortunately, Jay, I got a bad draw.
What was the episode?
It was called Miri. You know it.
Yeah, season 1. I think it was episode like 7 or 8.
It is episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can we just like kind of together do a recap of that episode?
Yeah, I mean, I remember those facts about it, strangely. I don't remember very much about the actual episode. Maybe because it sucked.
It did. It did suck. It was, they are flying through space, which so far I'm like, this is great. Then they see they're coming up on a distress signal. And it's coming from a planet, and they're reading off all the things that the planet is like. And with everything that they say, they're like, this sounds a lot like Earth. And then they get to it, and they're like, well, it is Earth, but we're millions of light years away from Earth. But this looks just like Earth. It even has North America on it.
Kind of a low-budget episode. There's plenty of episodes like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was immediately disappointed.
They're like, it's California.
Yeah, I was immediately bummed. I was like, I'm not going to be seeing any space stuff in this one. It's, to quote my stupid thought I had once during a Farscape episode, they filmed this one on Earth.
Yes.
I knew this one was going to be filmed on Earth, and sure enough, they get there. It's Earth. It looks just like any other TV show I could be watching. And they find this little girl in a closet, and she's like, oh, the adults died in the before times. Literally says the before times. I'm like, God, no. I want to skip it, but I can't. I can't skip it. That's my brain won't let me. So all the old people die of a disease, and all that's left is little kids. And when they hit puberty, they get the disease, and they're gonna die. And the crew gets it. So it's, instead of like fun space adventures or cool dynamics on the ship, what you're seeing is Bones and Kirk and Spock yelling at each other, which I don't like. I like it when they get along. And then the other half of what you get to see is William Shatner, who's not a good actor, acting alongside a bunch of little kids who are not good actors. So bad draw.
Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, Kirk and Spock and Bones mostly don't get along. Well,
they disagree, but they respect each other.
Okay.
There's an inherent you know what you're doing. Damn it, I'm a doctor. Damn it, not a guy who just like loses his temper with you.
Yeah.
And in this, they're literally just bickering, because that's one of the symptoms of the disease, is it makes you bicker and overact.
Oh yeah. Those are always fun, where they come across something. That's another thing that happens in TOS a lot. Well, I mean, really, a lot of Star Trek series is like an excuse to have the actors act in different ways, because they're like, I'm tired of acting like the same character.
And that can be fun. Like one of the ones I've seen and liked, something gets on the ship that like basically, coin time!
Hailing frequencies open. We're getting something from alien race.
Captain,
coins.
There seems to be many coins falling from the sky, Captain.
Well, coin time happened.
Coin time happened. Anyway, what were we talking about?
The episode of me.
Oh yeah. Where something gets on the ship.
Was like,
something gets on the ship, and it makes them all like drunk, basically. And so, like, Kirk's getting a little handsy.
Yeah, of course.
Sulu gets his hands on an epee sword, and he's like, he wants to be a swashbuckler.
Yeah,
and he's having fun. Yeah. And that's fun. It's like, okay, they're on the ship, but they're acting crazy. This was just, they were, like, just snipping at each other, and it's really not
Yeah.
Not good. Yeah.
Walk off.
Damn it! Make
Yeah.
the vaccine faster. I'm doing it as fast as I can.
Music.
Yeah, and then
Doors.
little kids. And then little kids for 5
Well,
minutes.
yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, not a good episode.
Not a good episode, but wanted. Well, I'll save my future comments about Star Trek.
Sure. Okay. We're receiving. We're being hailed by a segment on screen. Welcome to Leia Plays. This is the part of the podcast where I suggest a podcast that might be better than the podcast you're watching, potentially.
Potentially. I say potentially.
How about a music podcast, like a music review podcast called the Occupod, like acapella, Occupada maybe.
Acapella.
Yeah, so it's like, YouTube, it's like you can't play clips of songs or else you'll get dinged by the copyright people and shit like that. So it's more like, and then the part of the song goes like this. And then Robert Plant starts in like,
Yeah.
that part of the song was good. And then it kind of, went into the other part. It was like, bam, man.
And this is how we review the album.
Yeah. You just go through it. And you just get better and better at doing acapella, I suppose.
Yeah. I honestly love it because, as we've often talked about, music reviewers are generally terrible at their jobs.
Yeah.
And they don't tend to really tell you what the album sounds like. They just tell you, like, what other stuff the people in it have done, or whether they think it did a good job satirizing shit or whatever. But they don't really just tell you what it sounds like, which is why I want to read the reviews. What does this thing sound like? What am I going to be hearing? And so with this one, we're getting that.
Yeah, you don't want to listen to the whole album and then watch the podcast about the album. What's the point? You want to know what you're getting into, have some, idea of it. So.
Or I like to read a review before I've listened to the album to know, am I going to want to listen to this?
Yeah. So be like, let's see.
So
P. Diddy's cover of the Led Zeppelin hit, Jasmine.
Close enough.
Come with me.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a song you'd want to listen to?
It does. How many stars do you give it? Or how many air guitars do you give it?
Ooh, you give 2 air guitars and a little
So
Godzilla. yeah, and a little Godzilla action figure in there as well. Godzilla 98. Chris from that movie.
Yeah. So okay. Let's do a brief review of the newest Viagra Boys record, because I know that's one we both know. So track 1, it starts with like, used to be a baby, now just a criminal, and then the guitar, like, what's the guitar doing? It's like, and then track 2 is like,
this would be the episode. Like, I can't really remember it right now, but that.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool.
Oh,
it's like it's cool. But then so like track 2, then it's like there's more a keyboard thing, and the keyboard thing is going like yeah. And then I don't really remember what track 3 is.
It goes like this.
Yeah. And then he goes like,
that was so good. I like that part.
That was good. Good. And then the rest of it is good.
Yeah,
so
the rest of it's
there's
really
the
good
one
too.
where it's like, the bass does. Yeah. And he's like,
Ah, moves.
yeah. And then the keyboard goes like,
I give that one like a 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
At least maybe an 8.5 or 9 out of 10.
air guitars. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the review here on Octopod. The Viagra Boys Cave World.
Yeah, go back or listen to it for the first time if you want to, based on our suggestion, maybe, and let us know if you did want to listen to it after having listened to it.
Yeah, and go ahead and send us in a voice comment of any of the parts of the song that we didn't do that you liked.
Yeah.
Maybe what the drums were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next week we review all of Beethoven's discography.
Should we give just a sample from that episode, as we like to do?
Sure.
Ooh. And we don't tell you what instrument is doing that.
Yeah.
You have to tune in.
It's not. Maybe it's a trumpet. Maybe it's a guitar. Might be surprised.
Is it Casio keyboard?
Holy shit! You put a Casio keyboard in Beethoven's hands. Can you imagine the shit he would have dropped?
Or man, let's see that on the fact too. Beethoven holding a Casio.
Okay.
Pretty good. You can tell it's gonna be good.
That's something we all missed out on, for sure. Maybe ChatGPT will like be able to cook that up for us.
Yeah. Gone too soon.
Beethoven gone way too soon.
27 Club.
Yep.
Sucks.
Xanax. You know, it's killing all these people. We'll be back.
You didn't say it though.
Oh, fuck. Think about it. And we will be back. We're back. Segment 2. Star Trek and this world. So, I don't know about all the other worlds, but we can talk about Star Trek and this world.
Yeah, we're not going to be exploring brave new ones right for now. We're just going to talk about this one.
What's the point?
The Earth. Welcome to Earth.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a prop on a fucking podcast, plastic boat.
Hey, should we check in with the table real quick?
Oh.
We just met it last week, kind
Yeah.
of, for the first time in a way. So
Paul Matable knee.
yeah.
What do you got, Paul?
I like Data.
Ooh. Data was one of the very best Star Trek characters of all time, without a doubt.
Even I agree with that.
Brent Spiner was incredible in that role. He really, really killed it.
Yeah, you
Couldn't
really
imagine anybody else.
did feel like he really was that pale.
Yeah.
And I've seen him. He is kind of a pale guy, but not that pale.
Well, they filmed the show in sunny California, so it's just like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
He must be android.
Yeah, with the way LA is.
It's gotta be.
So, Jay.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of our classic research, just kind of on the origins of show creator Gene Roddenberry.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I wanted to take it from a different angle this week. It didn't seem like the right way to go, to just be like, it premiered this, and it was this many episodes, and then this was this one, and then it was that many episodes, and then the movie, and then another movie. And I also figured you're going to know that stuff, and you can be hitting with those kind of facts as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So in an effort to explore brave new worlds, I decided my angle for the research this week would primarily to be to watch the 1997 documentary Trekkies.
Ooh.
And get it from the horses' mouths
Mm.
what Star Trek in the world is.
Ah.
I also thought that would contain a lot more like actual factual information in the way most documentaries do, where it's like, here's the thesis of the documentary, here's what Star Trek is, here's what... But it... Oh, go ahead.
Well, just especially before Wikipedia. You know,
Yeah.
They wasted a lot of film on that shit.
Yeah.
Stating Wikipedia facts.
Yeah, now that Wikipedia is around, we don't really need documentaries anymore.
Or at least the documentary should be like anecdotal type of shit.
Yeah. Oh, a documentary should really just be a person being like, go to Wikipedia about this.
That's all any documentary is anymore. Just look up this website and this website and this Wikipedia article.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching my documentary.
And you can like,
bye.
Let's say it's a documentary about one of the wars that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Not Star Wars, regular wars.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have a guy that was in that war, and he can be like, I remember when that battle happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and look it up on Wikipedia and read all about it. And then I'll tell you what happened to me.
Yeah. Oh, you won't read that on Wikipedia.
But
Shot a guy in the ball.
in both of them, I could tell. One bullet.
I was there. You don't know shit. I was there. I got a medal for it. It's right here.
And the winner of this year's documentary, best Oscar for best documentary is You Don't Know Shit. I was there. That's every documentary.
Yeah, you're right.
You Don't Know Shit. I was there.
Yeah.
That's the only kind of documentary. And I didn't know shit, and I wasn't there in 1997 when these Trekkies were trekking. And it didn't really bother to give me a lot of information about why or what Star Trek is, much for the same reason that we're not doing it here, because everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Doing Star Trek in the world is kind of like pointless. Everybody knows what Star Trek is.
Yep. It's a huge thing.
Yeah. So instead, what I mostly ended up writing down are kind of little oddball things here that we can play with. So, first of all, and the film opens with this, it's a little text card, says that Trekkies, all of this information is according to this documentary, which was made in 1997. And
Disclaimer.
Often quoted by somebody. But according to this, Trekkies is the only fandom named in the Oxford English Dictionary.
Really?
Yeah. It's that ubiquitous.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh. Not even Tolkien's? Tolkien.
Tolkies.
No?
I prefer Tolker. There is that.
Tolk up.
Trekkies versus Trekkers is a thing.
Yeah.
The ones think it should be the other one, and the other one thinks it should be the other one.
Yeah.
So, according to the man who played Bones himself, whose name I forgot.
DeForest Kelly.
DeForest Kelly, thank you. According to him and George Takei, and I think Nichelle Nichols, who is a Uhuru, piped up on this moment as well, the first ever Star Trek fan convention was in 1971. It was like 30 to 50 people were there. They all just were like, hey, let's all meet up. Then...
Yeah, that's what they did.
Oh, what?
It was a fucking orgy, dude.
Oh.
It was a fucking orgy, man. You know it. You know it.
Yeah, they were probably fucking and sucking.
You want to do a space TV show and then just meet up and talk about the space TV show.
Yeah. And I was surprised by the amount of fucking in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, it
Was that
was.
fucking in the movie?
That's why there was not a lot of information, or maybe I just was not catching a lot of the information. But it was mostly fucking. By the second one, which they did not give a year for, the second one, and this was all fan organized and fan funded. By that second one,
Pretty
they
cool.
had all the people I just said at it. It was in New York, and from 30 to 50 people having an orgy. The second one was 3,000 to 4,000 people in attendance.
Whoa.
And just sloshing and slurping noises far as the Vulcan pointy ear could reach.
He's amazing.
And they walked out on stage and they were all like, whoa, this is amazing but gross. And according to Nichelle Nichols-Uhura in 1997, now on every weekend of the year, multiple cons are happening everywhere in the world.
Every weekend of the year. Multiple cons?
I mean,
all over the world?
These nerds got a taste of what an orgy can be like, and now they're hungry.
Yeah, I guess so. That's yeah, I don't know about that.
In 1997, according to her, all this, take it up with them.
Okay.
Here's some weird things that happened to members of the cast from fans. A guy came up to Scotty, Michael Doohan,
Nice fella.
with a box with a hypodermic syringe in it and said, could I have a blood sample? Could I have some of Scotty's blood? And Scotty said, no.
No.
No? You can't?
Can I have any of my blood?
You can't have it? I can't give it anymore?
Did the fan take the blood sample anyways?
The fan definitely did not, because 20 years later, the same person came up to him again with a needle and was like, now?
He's like, let me give it 20 years. Maybe he'll feel differently about giving out blood to a stranger.
Hey, are you sick of your own blood yet? And does the fact that you're seeing me for a second time change anything?
Anything happened in the last 20 years that might have altered your decision? And you know what? They're probably actually no. Old Doohan, he did. So I suppose that fan is shit out of luck.
Well, probably easier to get the blood now. I don't know how much their dead bodies are under lock and key. Probably just buried in the dirt like everybody else.
What the fuck did he want to do with his blood anyways?
Oh,
shit.
man, like, drink it,
Oh, yeah.
become Scotty, wear Scotty. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool stuff. I mean, fun stuff.
Yeah. There's a character named Q. You know about Q?
Mm-hmm. John Delancey, played by.
That's right. And he went to a con, and he was really sick. He had the flu real bad. But he stuck it out, and he got up on stage with the flu. And
Q flu.
He had the Q flu. Q-vid.
No. Bull.
And he was drinking out of a glass of water, and then they were doing an auction of props and stuff. And Mr. Delancey was like, hey, I'm going to take off. I feel sick. I feel bad. I'm going to go. And the guy running the auction was like, grabbed the glass of water and was like, who would like the only known sample of the Q virus, he said.
Oh, fuck.
And he said, he was recounting the story, and he said somebody paid like somewhere between like $30 and $50 for it. And the guy who paid that much money got up on stage, and the auctioneer was like, look, you're not actually have to drink this. It's just like, we're having fun. And the guy was like, nope. Chug. And then he screamed, I am the first known, I'm patient zero of the Q virus. and then presumably went
Wow.
and spat in a bunch of people's mouths. And
See, I was joking about the whole orgy thing, but I think this is kind of like almost kind of worse. What's unfolding?
yeah,
The
I mean,
actual
I said
world.
cue it as a joke, but who knows, man.
Jeez.
There was a dude who sent mail to the offices of Star Trek every single day for over a decade.
What did it say?
It was all like travel brochures and magazines and stuff from the different places he was traveling to, which makes me think maybe he was like running some kind of magazine scam or something. Like, I don't know, what's the that old thing where it's like you buy 5 records for a penny and then you gotta buy more records. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, we can't even get into that then.
We can't.
I suspect this guy, I think there was some foul play going on.
Okay.
I think he was like getting cheapo magazines by like having a mailing address that was fake or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they have, okay, this is other things they've been told or asked the cast. Somebody wanted to be blessed by one. At least one person, one couple wanted to be married.
Sure.
One person who thought a guy was Data, and he actually wasn't even Data, but the people ran up to the guy they thought was Data at a convention dressed as Data, and were like, "Touch my baby." And, oh, Data, touch my baby.
Uh-huh.
That's exciting. One guy wanted a guy to sign his car, the inside of the car.
Reasonable.
That same guy,
Sure.
somebody else, and this is all he said about it, he didn't go into any more detail, said that a fan asked him to help them ease into death.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a little heavy.
Yeah. Then a little nice one.
Ease into it.
Ease into it. They wanted him to Kevorkian them, I think.
Whoa. Fuck.
Yeah. Then a nice one is Michael Doohan Scotty. He did not give his blood up, but when he got a letter from a fan saying they were thinking about committing suicide, he was like, the next con that I'm going to be at is in Indianapolis in 2 weeks. I want to see you there. And he did, and they talked, and he was like, okay, next one I'm going to be at St. Louis. I want to see you there. Person was there. They came to like the next 20 in a row, and he would talk to him every time. And then he got a letter from him like 8 years later that said that they had just like finished their doctorate in electronics.
Aw.
So saved a life, Star Trek did.
Wow. Scotty.
Ended one and ended many, potentially the Q virus, but saved one. Then it cut to old Kirk himself, Shatner, and he said, I think the reason that people stay so focused on these shows, is that it's part entertainment and part philosophy.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it cut to a series of people talking about like, the things how Star Trek is inspirational to them. There was a kindergarten teacher that said she shows it to her kindergartners to teach them about diversity.
That's great.
There's a science teacher that shows it to her science class kids because it's like, this is what science does. It makes you be in space. If you learn science, you'll be in space.
Okay. Well.
Many families told the lady who played Captain Janeway.
Kate Mulgrew.
That's right.
Thank you.
It's good. Who, by the way, just based on these interviews, she seemed like kind of a nut job to me, but I don't know.
I think she's got a mugshot out there. She doesn't look too good these
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
There you go. I can spot them. But anyway, she said that she'll hear from so many people how impactful it is for them to see a woman in a full leadership role.
Yeah.
And in a show that they can all watch as a family.
Mm-hmm.
The first black woman astronaut first became a scientist, then became an astronaut, inspired by Uhura. That story got told, then they cut to Miss Nichelle Nichols, and she told a story about how a young girl came up to her and said that she saw her the young girl says, I saw you on TV, and I went screaming through the house and found my mother, and I said, and the little black girl says to her mother, there's a black woman on TV, and she ain't even a maid. And that young black girl grew up to be EGOT winner Whoopi Goldberg.
EGOT. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, yeah.
So,
whoa.
And who then was on Star Trek? Her own self.
Yeah. That's fucking great.
Yeah, so it inspires a lot of people. To this day, it does. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a humanist show.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Then Will Wheaton said at some point that Star Trek fans dedicate more money than any other group of people in the world to their thing they like to spend money on. Will Wheaton says it's
really?
a big business. The Ferengi would love it.
Huh.
Then Bones told a story about how he got a letter, his favorite fan letter that he ever got, had a joint taped to it alongside of a picture of what he described as a delightful looking lady. And she had written, you turned me on so many times I figured it was my turn to do the same for you. And
a picture of a delightful young lady.
With a joint that she had sent him.
I wonder what that picture showed. Maybe it was her in a Star Trek outfit.
Perhaps it was. So, that's pretty much what I got from that documentary. It was a good documentary. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it did a nice job of showing these people as just a generally lovely group of people.
Sure.
There was one part where there was this older dude, and this was 1997. He was looking like he was like in his 50s probably. And he had the full uniform on and everything. And he said, like, I stopped short of getting my ears turned pointy because would have cost too much money. He says that, and he's like, laughs because it's like he's making a joke. But he thinks about it a second. He's like, honestly, though, if I could afford it, I would do it. Because, I march to my own drum. And I like being different. And I don't mind if I do something that's that is non-aggressively shows that I'm different. So I would do it. And I think my life would be fine if I did it. I was like, fuck yeah, man. Good for you, you old boomer that gets body modification.
Yeah, very not boomer of him.
Very.
Through the power of Star Trek. Amazing.
Absolutely. So that was 20 minutes. Do we want to hear about Roddenberry or save it for the next generation?
Let's hear a little bit about Roddenberry, I think we should.
He was a poli-sci major, then he joined the Air Force, then he became a commercial pilot for Pan Am. Between the Air Force and the commercial pilot, he was in 3 plane crashes. 2 of them he was piloting. The third one was with Pan Am. And he dragged a bunch of passengers and off the plane and saved their lives.
Jeez.
Then
maybe you should stop being on planes anywhere ever.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he started liking spaceships so much, because they don't crash. Then he worked for the LAPD for a little while. He was quickly put into the newspaper unit of the LAPD, which led him to being a part of what was known as the Public Information Division.
Freeze! Stop printing! You're under arrest.
That headline is wrong. Dewey did not defeat Truman. You're under arrest. You're going away for a long time, you sicko.
We tracked you down, that's right. We
so
saw your papers all over the city.
You left one hell of a paper trail. Newspaper. Yeah! And that's acapella.
Practically threw it up against my front door every morning.
You cocky son of a bitch. So then, working there leads him to become the liaison for the television show Dragnet.
Bum,
Bum, bum, bum,
bum,
bum.
bum, bum, like Portmanteau, theme song Portmanteau. Anyways, sorry.
Drag Trek.
Hell yeah.
Or Starnet. Oh. Whoa.
That reminds me of the Tholian Wib episode. Okay.
So he writes for Dragnet, and he goes through the TV system. He pitches the show, and on September 8th, 1966, on NBC, the first ever episode of Star Trek premieres. Gene Roddenberry did it.
Oh, yeah.
He did all those things, and then he did this thing. Really, really, really fast.
Yeah.
Couple crazy guest stars we've had on Star Trek, and a little bit of predicted tech, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
People who have been on Star Trek. The Rock was in
Voyager.
Oh, okay. Iggy Pop was.
Oh, Next Generation.
No, D Space. I'm gonna be watching that one. Stephen Hawking.
Ooh,
As
I don't
himself.
know. Yeah. Wow. I don't know.
Next Generation.
Okay.
Sarah Silverman. Voyager. Kelsey Grammer. Old Frasier himself went to space. I bet they didn't have the kind of lattes he likes there.
Pretty sure that was Next Generation.
Correct. Jason Alexander.
Oh, Deep Space Nine.
Voyager.
Oh.
Yeah. Mick Fleetwood from the band Fleetwood Mick.
Word.
He was in the Next Generation, but he was so make-upped up you would literally never know it was him. Tom Morello from Rage Against the Morello. He was in Voyager. And King Abdullah II of Jordan, the King of Jordan.
Big fan, I guess.
Yeah, went on Voyager.
Oh.
Here's some technology that Star Trek has predicted.
Spaceships.
Yes. Touchscreen monitors, Google Glass, or generally like heads-up display things, voice activation, tablets, VR, synthetic foods, 3D printing, universal translators, video calling, Bluetooth earpieces, fact tubes.
Fact tubes.
Let's pull it up.
Let's see what the fact tube might look like. Whoa.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Star Trek in this world.
This is a great show.
And everybody go ahead and watch Trekkies and then read Wikipedia.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Segment 3 of the Star Trek episode, Why Star Trek? Just normal intro.
Yeah. I mean, with how friggin' crazy we get on this show, sometimes just being normal is like the craziest thing you could possibly do.
Because we are pretty freaking crazy.
We get wild on this show, man. I tell ya.
Shit, yeah, we do.
Woo!
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So, like I was saying. Fucking.
Yeah.
Nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Why Star Trek? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but we've never done a TV show episode.
Well, we did do Seinfeld, but the whole point of Seinfeld was that we didn't actually talk about Seinfeld at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of a format buster. Go check it out.
Pretty smart. Pretty smart thing.
Yeah. It's kind of like by doing what we did, we actually were commenting on the show that we were talking about even more than if we actually were talking about it, kind of.
Like, yeah. Like, do you get it? Like, do you, really get it, though?
But for this one, we are really talking about it.
We are? Mm-hmm.
We learned about how the person wanted the blood.
Oh, man. Crazy.
Yeah. So, but you're mostly correct, yes. First time doing a TV show.
Oh, yeah. I was like, with what?
Correct about so many things. Which one does he mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't remember what the point was with me really saying that.
Okay. If it comes back to you, I want to know it. By the way,
Yeah.
I just remembered on break. I did not look it up. I just did remember the guy on Farscape. His name is Dargo. Dargo. He's the warrior archetype of that show.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But he also like really gets along with the main guy who's like a cut up. And he's like finds that guy funny. And they're friends.
Wow.
So he's not totally just like, I only care about killing. He's also got a sense of humor too.
That voice you just did was just such a great soundbite. Of like just yeah.
Should we drop that in at the beginning as a cold open?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, well, the question was why Star Trek, so I think that's kind of why I was like going on about TV show, it being such. It's just like you have to ask why TV show if you ask why Star Trek.
Oh.
Kind of, right?
You have to ask why TV show.
Is the medium is ontological, you know, to Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you ask why TV show, you must also ask why this TV show and not other TV show.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. And
because Star Trek wasn't even a hit when it came out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Although
it definitely had its audience from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That never like waned or anything, but well,
I believe in its initial airing before syndication, I believe it was a show that my mother and her brothers would tune into every week.
Nice.
I think that may have been its second run, but I don't know.
Yeah, my my dad kind of turned me on to liking Star Trek, and that's kind of why I like it, because he liked it, and he was telling me about that, and like it would just be really, really cool to live in that in the 60s, and it's like TV is like such a fucking new thing. In the 60s, like TV shows, TVs themselves didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, for even like for a decade, or you know, much more than a decade.
Your
so
TV
like,
before that was just a radio where the guy would tell you, and now we're in space, and it's
you
a
think about
spaceship.
it. Yeah, you come up with what it looks like.
And guess what? The spaceship, it goes to a place that looks exactly like your neighborhood looks. And people are like, click, I'll listen next week.
They don't have a budget for the words they say. They don't have to film it in some in the parking lot.
Why'd they have to record this one on Earth? Yeah, but so yeah, let's go 60s TV.
Yeah, well, just like finish out the thought.
Yeah.
Having like a really cool show that's like science fiction, because the original series was there were a lot of like actual science fiction writers that wrote most of the episodes.
Prominent ones of the time.
Yeah. Like a lot of different ones for and so that's super cool because it's an actually intelligent, like super true sci-fi TV show every week that you could just watch for the first time. That sounds cool. Nowadays it's like, you know, I don't want to watch fucking, you know, Star Wars Baby Yoda, you know.
That's not written by the top guys.
No, you know.
Except for Jon Favreau, but.
And so that's all I need to know about that.
Yeah. And I think that we respond to the 60s one the most because we should have been born back then, man.
Totally,
Free
bro.
love. No,
Yeah.
I've never felt that way. I think I got it. I think I hit it right where I was supposed to be. But
really?
Yeah, for sure. But the 60s one has such vibes, such aesthetics, such intelligence.
Yeah. Like just being a TV show in the 60s. Like TV shows are so cool in the 60s.
But I
it was
bet
so simple.
I bet this one felt cool and different even back then. I get the sense of that.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Considering that it's the 60s. Like if you put it in the 60s context, yeah.
And like, Shatner being whatever he is, it's really well acted. The whole cast is fantastic. They gel together really beautifully.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, it just has no sense of trying to be anything that it's not, or trying to get you to think that it's anything that it's not.
Yeah.
It's really confident and calm. Even this one I watched today, which was not good, it was still like just steady.
Yeah. And I guess this probably could be credited to old Gene Roddenberry, maybe, but
well, let me pull up a final bit of research here.
Sure. Maybe succinct is the word.
A major inspiration for Star Trek was the science fiction film Forbidden Planet.
Such a great movie.
Very cool movie. Previous sophisticated science fiction television series included anthology series such as Twilight Zone or the British Quatermass serials, but Star Trek was the first American science fiction series with a continuing cast that was aimed at adults, telling modern morality tales with complex narratives. Star Trek's contributions to television history include giving women jobs of respect, most notably through the casting of Nichelle Nichols, a black actress, as Uhura, the ship's communications officer.
Like I said earlier, it was very humanist. He wanted to be like, it had a humanist angle. It was very about humanity, really. Instead of all these aliens.
And there were good aliens, too. As early as 1964, Gene Roddenberry drafted a proposal for a science fiction series that would become Star Trek. Publicly, he called it a Western in space, but privately he told people that he wanted to model it on Gulliver's Travels and intended each episode to act as both an adventure and a morality tale. Many of the conflicts and political dimensions of Star Trek are allegories of contemporary cultural realities. Issues depicted in various series include war, peace, personal loyalty, authoritarianism, imperialism, class warfare, economics, racism, religion, human rights, sexism, feminism, the role of technology. Roddenberry stated that he wanted to talk to the counterculture, people who were concerned about Vietnam and things like that. He intended the show to have a progressive political agenda reflective of the emerging counterculture and youth movement, and to show what humanity might develop into if it could learn from lessons of the past, most specifically by ending violence. He gave it a strong anti-war message and wanted the United Federations of Planets to look like the ideal optimistic version of the United Nations. So Nichelle Nichols said she was like just about to quit the show, and then she was at a fundraiser for the NAACP, and she was told there was a big fan who wanted to meet her, and she was expecting it to just be a Trekkie, and so she's like, sure, bring him over. I'd love to talk to these people. And she says, I looked across the room, and there was Dr. Martin Luther King walking towards me with this big smile, big grin on his face. And he reached out to me, and he said, Miss Nichols, I'm your greatest fan, and that Star Trek was the only show that he and his wife would let their children stay up and watch. And she told him that she was thinking of leaving, and he said, you can't, you're part of history. And she went and told Gene Roddenberry that story. And when she told Gene Roddenberry that, he cried. But yeah, all that, that's what he was out for.
Yeah.
And that is why Star Trek and not Star Wars. It's like, they're trying to mean something. And they do.
Yeah. Yep.
But none of that's funny.
I mean, definitely, like, any good science fiction is about the current world. Like, any, all good, or science fiction, really. It's just the current, everything's currently happening.
Yeah. Or
That's all it is.
or Baby Yoda.
Or little green fella.
Yeah, it's about one or the other. Sometimes both.
Or sometimes a really big green fella.
Sometimes.
Jabba the Hutt.
Sure. Yeah. Or what about a guy who starts as a normal sized fella,
Mm-hmm.
then he turns into a big green
Varying
fella when he's mad.
sizes of green fellas.
Yes.
Science fiction is about more than that.
Yeah, but it's nice when those things are in there.
I guess so. You got Boba Fett in between, right?
Yeah.
Mid-sized green fella.
Baba.
Boba the Hutt. Is that it? Boba the Hutt? Boba the Fett?
Boba the fella.
James T. Fett.
Ooh. So.
Make it so. Number one. Make it so. It's my big card.
I'm going to transition us back to
Star Trek?
Star Trek and us.
Sure. Oh, okay. What do you got?
You said on break, like, all this is making me really want to watch some Star Trek. And I said, I'm going to save my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
My Star Trek intake has been sporadic at best, and leisurely and fairly non-committal. And I will say, having watched this documentary and the clips that it showed and all these characters, I want to ask you about Q, because that seemed fucking interesting. Anytime I hear about characters from Star Trek, even the ones that I don't think I would like that much, like Next Generation, it all sounds very cool and interwoven, and like there's big, good characters and canon and all the things.
If this is heading towards a Marvel thing, I'm going to kill
not.
you. Okay.
It's not, but it is like... It is that level of canon, seemingly.
Okay.
And I always thought that Star Trek was always just going to be like monsters of the week and didn't really ever have character development or anything like that. But I will say, having watched all this stuff and read all this stuff, and I'm really, really curious about Q, and then I watched that episode, and even though it was a bad one, I fucking really want to watch some Star Trek right now. It seems good. And I feel like it's made a fan of me, potentially.
And not even by watching it.
Nope.
Just by learning about it.
Yeah, it might turn out that I watch it and I'm like, this sucks. I'm going to go watch Trekkies 2.
Well, I mean, that's like earlier you said, and then like it looks great, and you're like completely sincere. And like so many people knock how it looks, but I love how it looks. Like the simplistic primary color palette of it is so fucking great. But people are, it just,
No.
I think it's great. And very 60s at the same time.
Very 60s. And when I say I want to go watch Star Trek right now, I mean like, I'm ready for the first time in my life to give Next Generation a true shot.
Ooh.
And like, I don't know how far this will go. I might watch them all. Or I might watch a couple more episodes of the original series and be like, they're on Earth again?
Yeah, you might.
We'll see. But I'm damn intrigued right now. I want to boldly go.
Sure. So, why Star Trek?
Why Star Trek? It's because of its humanism, and it's you can go and watch a show where people are have a blaster at their side and a lightsaber. Or or the guy, it turns out his name is Dargo. You can watch those things. And look, I'm probably going to watch Farscape before I watch Star Trek, because I just like the vibe. But Star Trek is, it's the thinking man's sci-fi. The thinking worlds. The thinking universe. It's all people and all things equal and all things valuable, as long as they are peaceful.
Word.
And that's lovely and intriguing. And the fact that you could tell morality tales across 11 series and 20 movies, whatever it all is, And it still is working.
We're thinking the same thing because I was going to say that why Star Trek is because why the world, like why everything happening in the world that's always happened in the same way. It's like it's just I don't know how much other like forms of fiction are the same way, but yeah, like I said earlier, like science fiction is like about the contemporary shit in the shoes, you know. So it's like why Star Trek is because we have to frame or contextualize the real world that's happening right now, so that we can better easily or digest it in like in a meaningful way, or like a way that makes sense.
And specifically from the angle of things like diplomacy.
Well, a huge thing with like Star Trek, the original series, and we kind of take this for granted because all the rest of the preceding Star Trek content was based around these established by the original series, tropes, or not tropes, but like,
ideologies,
features or tenets, yeah. But the original series was about a bunch of different alien races. Like the Klingons got introduced, and it was like very obvious that they were supposed to be like the Russians, or like just not the Russians, but a person. The Romulans are supposed to be the Russians because they were like a secretive race. Point is, current geopolitical stuff was like a big thing in the original series.
That's why he brought Chekhov in. Was because the Cold War was happening. He was like, I want to have a Russian guy on here.
I want to demonstrate that it would be over in the future.
Yeah, and that like not all Russians are mean. This one hangs out with Bones, and they're friends.
There you go. Why Star Trek? So we can try to think better. How about that? I just wrote the next Star Trek advertisement that I should probably get Gene on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. Get him on a space phone that talks to the dead.
Star Trek, think better.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, yeah. That makes it seem like Star Trek is like an energy drink that makes you smarter when you drink it.
Oh, dude, you don't even have to drink it. You just have to watch it.
Yeah, you don't even have to drink it. And that's my ad. Star Trek, you don't even have to drink it.
Wow.
That's the second ad.
That's why Star Trek, sometimes you don't have to drink. You don't want to drink. Trying to sober up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay. Before we head to the end here, what is if you could make a Star Trek, what's it called?
Ooh.
And what's
the series called?
Yeah, what's it called, and what's the framework, I guess.
Oh, boy. If I could make a Star Trek.
Yeah. And I won't even answer this because yours is going to be better than mine.
I would make it a closer origin story than any of the other. Like Enterprise is kind of an origin series for Star Trek.
The origin of
the
Federation?
Yeah. So I would think I would do another origin one, but it'd be even stranger. Or
so
like,
it's like The Office.
Even earlier, rather.
It's like they're dealing with all the ins and outs of how this is going to work.
It would be a comedy.
Yeah. And
it would just talk about office life before the Federation got started.
Yeah. Jim and Pam Glaflor like each other, but they...
Pam Glaflor?
I was trying to make it an alien name.
I would try to make it as strange as possible. Kind of like Black Mirror and like Twilight Zone and stuff like that. Make it more as mind bending as I possibly could.
And
but
anthology style.
It'd be like regular series.
Okay.
But the point would be that it would be very, very strange stuff every week, but they'd still be on a spaceship physically traveling to these places.
Because like,
so it'd be like a cool little thing.
Like every Star Trek that we've seen, and this is a big aspect of Star Trek, is they're kind of used to aliens, and they're kind of used to running into aliens, and even though they're not going to understand each other right away, the goal is to understand each other, but they're like, they have a leg up. Yours is like, it's just getting started, and they're seeing their first ever Vulcan that anybody has ever seen, and they're like, what the fuck's up with its ears? But let's try and understand it, but it's
Yeah.
scary to us.
Yeah, exactly. Like how it would actually. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Great. The villain of Star Trek is Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah.
just in the back. And
So true.
yeah. And Pinewood is like almost not even high enough
Uh-oh.
because it's got to be in space.
Strange New Worlds level?
Maybe.
Is that where it goes?
Maybe. Is it
Whole new place.
a whole new
Things
place
to go.
Yeah. To not scaredly take a hop on over to a weird, what was it?
Strange New Worlds.
No, what was yours just now?
Weird, unprecedented planetary bodies.
Whoops. Weird, unprecedented planetary system. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Star Trek is a
Word.
whoop. It's whoops.
Absolutely. Makes sense.
And
Perfect.
And we don't have a song for that.
Nah. I'm not too fond of having to do the song every time.
Oh,
To
okay.
be totally honest.
Okay. That's maybe played out.
When we do the Pinewood Lanes. Yeah.
Okay. Hey. Why don't we send that song into the Pinewood Lanes and then we won't do that anymore? I'm good with that.
All right.
It's like that joke's probably carried as far as it can do. We did it as Lenny Kravitz last week. I don't see it getting better than that.
Yeah.
So Star Trek is a whoops,
Mm-hmm.
and us doing the song "The Man in Me" goes to Pinewood, and we're gonna send it there and sing it for the final time.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Do the man in me. Oh, you better man in the mouth. The man in me.
Bye that song.
Bye, Bob Dylan.
It was fun doing that for however many episodes we did. It's done. Show's growing. Show's changing. World changes.
Yeah.
Gotta be ready. Space is out there. The final frontier. And I think definitely we do the clink and then get beamed up, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So,
All right.
anything else?
This is part of the captain's log that I say.
This is the part of the captain's log that I say, Jim. Hello there. It's almost the end of the show, but not quite. I'm Zach Caffrey,
I'm Jason Ford.
and you just watched the episode of Metaphiles that you watched, and now you're seeing this, and it's the part where we say, it's like us, subscribe to us, comment about it,
Get on our shit.
get on it, build a little community with us. You're all a part of it. It's a nice little world we have here.
It's just a big ball of liking and subscribing and comments.
And it's wonderful to do. And you like doing it. You do.
You do.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
And this week, why not make a comment about bye.
Bye-bye.
Metaphiles.